Hi all, welcome back to a new post today, and let's continue our current affairs for the TSPSC mains upcoming examination for 2023. And today let's have a look about new and renewable energy, especially with regard to Telangana. So let's have a look at the state solar power policy which was announced in 2015, and recently Telangana government also came up with a rooftop solar power policy as well. It is also the first state to have a cooling policy with regard to to deal with the climate change and also mitigate the effects of climate change as well. So let's have a look about the solar potential in India, solar power in potential in Telangana. Apart from that, what are the major highlights recently with regard to solar power generation in Telangana especially, and the country as well. So looking at the solar potential in India, we are a tropical country, and the south, almost half of the country is located south of the Tropic of Cancer. So we have a very good area under constant sunlight, and we have almost 300 days of sunshine every year, and the peak of the electricity use is mostly in the evenings rather than the day. So we have a very good sunshine number of days in the country, and also a large number of area which has that amount of sunshine for 300 days. So about 5,000 trillion kilowatt per of energy per year is incident over India's land, that is measuring up the geographical area measures 328 million square kilometers, with most parts receiving 4 to 7 kilowatt of solar energy per day in India. Now, India's intended nationally determined contributions, which were recently submitted to the United Nations Framework Convention on Climate Change, targeted to achieve 40% of cumulative electric power installed from non-fossil fuel, that is the clean and the renewable energy sources, and to reduce the emission intensity of the GDP by 33 to 35% from 2005 level by 2030. Now, the National Institute of Energy has estimated that the country's solar potential is about 748 gigawatt, assuming that the solar photovoltaic modules cover about 3% of the geographical area in the country. India is a perfect location for solar energy because of the geographical location. As I told you, we have 300 days of sunshine every year, and the peak is only used during the evening time. So we also have a seasonal peak in the summer as well. Now, if you look at the solar power in India, the solar power is rapidly growing in India, and the country is becoming a new destination for renewable energy sector. As of March 31st, 2022, according to the Ministry of New and Renewable Energy, the country's solar power capacity is about 53.997 gigawatt, and nearly 42 solar parks have been built in India to provide land to the solar plant developers. Now, according to the Ministry of New and Renewable Energy, another 36 gigawatt of solar projects are in various stages of implementation. This is as of January 2021, with 23 gigawatt in tendering process as well. Now, the rooftop solar power, one of the component of various solar power generation capabilities, generates about 2.1 gigawatt, with 70% of it being used for industrial and commercial purposes. And India is developing a off-grid solar power for local energy requirements, in addition to the large-scale grid-connected solar photovoltaic effect as well. Solar products are increasingly being used in the rural requirements on the agriculture field, and as of 2015, the country sold just about 1 million solar lamps and pumps, also eliminating the need for kerosene. Now, if you look at the solar potential in Telangana, Telangana ranks second in terms of solar power capacity per unit area of landmass, and the state has a cumulative installed capacity, according to the government of Telangana, of 4,657 megawatt, and plans to add around 3 gigawatt of clean energy in another 4 to 5 years. Now, in terms of solar energy generation capacity, Telangana is ranked 6th in India. The state now has a solar power generation of 3,953 megawatt, with a goal of 5,000 megawatt by 2022, and Bharat Heavy Electrics Limited has been given a work order by NTPC Ramagundam to install a 100 megawatt solar floating photovoltaic plant on the water supply reservoirs. This is the largest in India. Now, since solar power is a resource that is abundantly available in Telangana, which is situated on the plateau region, the state government is striving to promote the adoption of solar power among the population as well. well. And we have the largest solar power plant of 100 megawatt already located in Ramagundam in Telangana. Now, moreover, in 2022, there are plans to solarize almost 500 schools in the state, and this was announced by the Telangana government recently. The government is also investing in innovative solar modules like solar, floating solar and agri-voltaic system. Let's look at the objectives of the solar power policy which was given by the Telangana government. Number one is to harness the vast potential, that is solar power potential of the state. Number two is to contribute to the long-term energy security in the state and to promote a sustainable fuel mix of both renewable and non-renewable sources with a higher concentration of solar energy among the renewable sources, to promote solar parks in the state, to promote public as well as private investment in solar power generation, to promote a decentralized and distributed generation, and to promote grid connected and off-grid solar applications and effective energy conservation as well, and to promote all the technologies for harnessing of solar energy. Now, if you look at the applicability, it is the policy is applicable to the solar power projects, grid connected solar power projects. Then you have the project set up for captive generation including those funded and owned by the developers. Also solar rooftop projects, so the policy is applicable to the solar rooftop projects, both grid connected and off grid as well. Off grid applications, another project which is established by the schemes of the government from time to time, and also it is applicable to the solar parks. Now, the solar power plant in Telangana is also coming up at Palwai near Gadwal in Mehboob Nagar, Telangana, which has about the capacity of 12 megawatt photovoltaic power station, which was just commissioned in 2016 after the policy was brought about. Now, India's largest floating solar power project is in Telangana and Ramagundam, and I told you now some of the special features about this largest floating solar power project in Telangana in Ramagundam is that it has a lot of advanced technology as well as environmental friendly features. Let's have a quick review of them. Now, this floating solar power project is fully operational as of now, and the state-owned engineering and manufacturing Bharat Heavy Electricals Limited has commissioned this Ramagundam floating solar power project. And in Telangana, let's look at what are the important features about this solar power project, because it was recently installed. So number one is the plant is installed across natural raw water reservoir, saving valuable land resources and also conserving the water by reducing evaporation. So this is an important feature. Number two is that the INTER-PC declared commercial operation of the final part capacity of 20 megawatt out of the 100 megawatt Ramagundam floating solar photovoltaic project from July 1st this year. Now, number three is the 100 megawatt for floating solar power project at Ramagundam is endowed with advanced technology as well as environmental friendly features. And number four is with innovative engineered layouts and arrangements for the solar modules, electricals and floaters. The plant is expected to ensure that the aquatic ecosystem is maintained while producing clean power as well. So in a way it saves the aquatic ecosystem. And number five is all major components of the solar power plant like the solar PV modules, floaters, biodegradable natural ester oil filled inverter duty transformers, switchgear, cables, etc. are all made by India itself. So they are all made in India and under the Make in India mission. Number six is the project is very unique in the sense that all the electric equipment including the inverter, the transformer, the panels, etc. are also on floating ferro cement platforms. And number seven is from the environment point of view, the most obvious advantages is minimum land requirement mostly for the associated evacuation and less of evaporation, also protecting the water ecosystem where it is situated. So these are some of the major features of the Ramagundam floating solar power plant, which is the largest in India. And this is about a brief about the solar power policy of Telangana, the objectives and some of the important and the potential in India and Telangana as well. So I hope this information was really helpful to you all. If you did, please do like, share, subscribe, and I shall see you with the current affairs and not the policy in my next post. Until then, happy learning.